The heavy clang of the gate echoed ominously through the vast corridors of the maximum security prison, a sound that marked the end of one life and the beginning of another. As the metal door creaked shut behind her, Maria felt a chill run down her spine, amplified by the distant footfalls of guards and the low murmur of conversation among inmates. The atmosphere in Cell Block 7 was suffocating, palpably infused with despair and resignation. Each sound reverberated against the cold, gray walls, amplifying her sense of isolation. Yet, within this desolate environment, Maria felt an unyielding flicker of determination ignite within her. As she began her tentative exploration, her heart raced at the thought of proving her innocence. Peering into the faces of her fellow inmates, she sensed a complex web of stories, each with their own burdens. Little did she know, in this dark place, bonds would form that would illuminate her path forward. The unmistakable clang of the gate reverberated in Maria's chest as she stepped into Cell Block 7, the cold gray walls closing in around her. A former schoolteacher, she never imagined she would find herself here, surrounded by the echoes of despair and the daunting reality of her wrongful conviction. Confusion and fear intertwined in her thoughts as she scanned the stark, unfamiliar environment, the muffled sounds of distant voices blending into a haunting symphony of lost hope. Every step further into this labyrinth felt heavy with uncertainty, yet a flicker of determination ignited within her. She would prove her innocence. As she navigated through the rows of cramped cells, she couldn't shake off the feeling that every inmate was a vivid story, waiting to be discovered. Little did she know, each encounter would weave a complex tapestry of resilience and connection, laying the groundwork for bonds that could defy the darkness enveloping them. As Maria navigated the stark corridors of Cell Block 7, the weight of her new reality began to settle in. The air was thick with an uneasy blend of fear and determination, and she felt the initial stirrings of camaraderie among the inmates. It was here, amidst the flickering fluorescent lights and the muffled sounds of confinement, that she first encountered Jamal. His vibrant spirit contrasted sharply with the bleak surroundings as he sketched the world outside on scraps of paper, finding solace in his art. Maria soon met Hector, whose tough exterior belied a reservoir of regret hidden beneath. Lila, fierce and unapologetic, exuded strength, her presence a beacon of resilience. These first encounters hinted at the bonds that would form, intertwining their fates as they navigated this unforgiving environment. Together, they began to share not just their stories, but pieces of themselves, sowing seeds of hope amidst despair. Jamal's world within Cell Block 7 is colored by his passion for art, an escape from the grim reality that surrounds him. As an artist facing the consequences of a robbery, he struggles to maintain his identity amidst the harshness of prison life. In quiet moments, he sketches the stark walls and the fleeting expressions of his fellow inmates, turning sorrow into creativity. The first time he meets Maria, he sees a spark of hope reflected in her eyes, igniting a connection that transcends their circumstances. As they begin to share their stories, Jamal finds comfort in her compassion and insights, while Maria is inspired by his relentless spirit. Together they navigate the bleak confines of Cell Block 7, transforming their shared suffering into a budding friendship that lays the foundation for resilience and courage against the backdrop of their lives in confinement. As Maria settles into life in Cell Block 7, she can't shake the feeling of loss that permeates her world. Flashbacks flood her mind, revealing a life filled with laughter and lessons, one where she passionately taught her students in a small classroom. In contrast, the stark walls of the prison echo the silence of her dreams, now shrouded in uncertainty. Meanwhile, Jamal's memories intermingle with hers, his vibrant sketches contrasting sharply with the dullness around them. He recalls late nights spent in his neighborhood, painting murals that spoke of hope and resilience. As their stories unfold side by side, they find common ground in their shared histories of aspiration and despair. Each recollection deepens their bond, allowing Maria and Jamal to help one another navigate the confusion of their present. In the quiet moments between their narratives, the seeds of friendship are sown, promising solace in their shared confinement. As Maria navigates the unforgiving environment of Cell Block 7, she hears the deep voice of Hector, an aging mobster whose reputation precedes him. With a steely resolve, Hector shares tales of his past life filled with crime and excitement, laced with regret as he reflects on the choices that led him to this bleak existence. The sound of old music, perhaps a jazz tune that once danced through his fingertips, fills the air, transporting him back to happier times spent with family. "You think you're invincible when you're young," he admits, his voice tinged with vulnerability. "But every choice leaves a mark." Maria listens intently, drawn into Hector's world and understanding the weight of his nostalgia. Through their conversations, the seeds of camaraderie begin to blossom, reminding them both that even in darkness, memories of light linger, shaping their paths as they forge unexpected connections in this desolate place. As Maria and Jamal's friendship deepens, the weight of regret looms large over Hector, whose life of crime flashes vividly in his mind. Sitting on the cold concrete floor of cell block 7, he reflects on choices that felt monumental at the time, but now seem like missteps in a dark labyrinth. The distant strains of old jazz music fill the air, transporting him back to family gatherings and laughter, a stark contrast to the silence that envelops him now. He recalls the thrill of power and control, always tugging him deeper into a world that offered fleeting satisfaction, but ultimately brought isolation. Conversations with the other inmates prompt Hector to voice the haunting thoughts that plague him. What could I have done differently? His candid reflections shape a newfound camaraderie among the group, revealing the shared struggle of reconciling their pasts with the uncertainty of their futures, and the painful recognition that regret is a heavy burden to bear. Lila sits on her cot, the walls of cell block 7 closing in around her, yet within that confinement she finds her strength. She recalls the night she fought back against her abuser, every bruise a testament to her survival instinct. Now, surrounded by women who have faced similar traumas, she becomes a guiding light, offering both solace and power. Her laughter echoes down the corridor, a sound that surprises even her, a reminder that joy can flicker in the darkest places. In weekly group meetings, Lila shares her story, encouraging others to rise above their pain. "You are not alone," she tells them, as they bond over shared struggles and dreams for brighter futures. The resilience in her voice inspires renewed hope, fostering a powerful support system among the women, a sisterhood born from adversity. They begin to envision paths for healing, understanding that their stories can transform pain into empowerment, even within these walls. As Leela navigates the stark corridors of cell block 7, the challenges of daily life weigh heavily on her. Each morning is a relentless cycle of fear and confrontation, surrounded by whispers of past traumas echoing in the claustrophobic space. Though the environment is often oppressive, Leela finds solace in her newfound role as a mentor. She steps into the shadows where other women reside, sharing her story of survival against an abusive partner, instilling hope in those who feel powerless. The sounds of quiet camaraderie emerge as they gather, exchanging tales of resilience and strength. Each conversation becomes a lifeline, breaking the silence of despair that often pervades their lives. Through her experiences, Lila fosters a bond among the women, reinforcing the idea that they are not alone. In this shared space, they rise together, transforming their pain into a foundation for solidarity, asserting their worth in a place that often tries to diminish it. As the camera pans across the cold, stark corridors of cell block 7, the tone shifts to one that reveals a different layer of prison life. Officer Sam, a veteran guard with a reputation for fairness, shares his perspective on the complex dynamics that unfold daily. His voice is calm, betraying a deep-seated respect for the inmates he oversees. Unlike many of his colleagues, Sam approaches his role with compassion, understanding that beneath the hardened exteriors lie human beings with stories and struggles. He reflects on the small moments that define his day, offering a kind word here, a listening ear there. Actions often dismissed, but profoundly impactful. Interactions with inmates like Maria and Jamal reveal the fragile balance between authority and empathy, as Sam grapples with the paradox of enforcing rules while nurturing the humanity that resides within these walls. The echoes of his experiences add a richer layer to the tapestry of life in prison, amplifying the theme of interconnectedness. As the days in cell block 7 unfold, moments of humanity emerge amidst the starkness. Inmates and guards, often seen as adversaries, share fleeting glimpses of connection. A simple smile from Officer Sam can brighten a gloomy afternoon, while small acts of kindness ripple through the concrete walls. Jamal, with his artistic spirit, often finds himself sketching quick portraits of the guards during yard time, capturing the softer sides of those who wield authority. These interactions create a delicate balance, showcasing how compassion can bridge the gap between inmates and staff. The vulnerability of sharing stories sometimes leads to unexpected conversations, sparking empathy and mutual understanding. Every exchange, whether verbal or silent, hints at a deeper reality, that each individual carries their own burdens, longing to be seen and understood. In these bound moments, the walls of Cell Block 7 seem to whisper, echoing the fragile humanity that persists behind bars. As the sun sets, casting long shadows within the confines of Cell Block 7, the atmosphere is charged with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. The inmates gather in the common area, their conversations reflecting a complex tapestry of fears and hopes. Maria, Jamal, Hector, and Lila share stories about what life might be like beyond the prison walls. Images of freedom, family reunions, and dreams long put on hold. In the midst of laughter and sorrow, they address the uncertainty that awaits them. The sounds of clanging metal and distant echoes serve as a stark reminder of their reality, yet a subtle shift takes place. A sense of solidarity emerges as they acknowledge their shared struggles. They know that reintegration may be fraught with challenges, but their bonds, forged in adversity, provide a source of strength. Each inmate begins to envision a future where they reclaim their dignity and purpose, steadily transforming their hopes into plans. As the days in Cell Block 7 dwindle, Maria and Jamal find themselves enveloped in a newfound sense of purpose. The conversations among the inmates deepen as they reflect on their time together, the struggles they've endured, and the strength they've discovered within themselves. Each story shared transcends the confines of the prison, revealing resilience forged in hardship. Lila's fiery spirit becomes a source of inspiration as she encourages her fellow inmates to embrace their narratives and transform their pain into powerful acts of advocacy. Jamal, with his artistic vision, begins to sketch murals that depict their journey, capturing the essence of survival and hope. Together, they formulate plans for an art project aimed at sharing their stories with the world, emphasizing the importance of raising awareness about injustice. With dreams of a brighter future, their camaraderie solidifies, serving as a testament to the transformative power of resilience and the bonds formed against the backdrop of their pasts.